I feel like we can't move on with this Take Your Home Back series without tackling the junk drawer. This whole area right here is the hot spot of my house. We keep our medicine cabinet here. We have our junk drawer, our mail pile. I had actually already started this junk drawer because I thought, no, I'm not gonna make a video on this because it's just gonna take me a few minutes. But turns out I need you guys. I need you guys to help me with the follow through. In this drawer, it looks sweet and innocent, but inside it contains a lot of decision fatigue. Why? Because this is where everything goes that you don't know what to do with. So now we're gonna face those deferred decisions and figure out where all of this goes. And quite frankly, doing these projects is just more fun to do it with friends. I love hanging out with you guys. If you have a junk drawer or a drawer that needs your attention, why don't you join me? And if not, if you're just here for the declutter satisfaction, perfect. I'm here to provide. My plan of attack is to first just take care of the easy stuff and then start sorting into piles whatever remains, getting rid of trash and things that I know we don't need and walking things to where it's supposed to go. One thing I like to do with half drinking water bottles is water plants with it so it doesn't go to waste. This is a perfect example of what is in my junk drawer. Like, what does this go to? Is it important? Do I just throw it away? Well, we're just going to say that this has been the time will tell bin, and it has been here in this drawer for so long, we're going to throw it away. And I know I'm probably going to regret it, but I have decided to take all this stuff out and just dump it. All right, my purpose for this was to not only free up the bins, but go ahead and wipe this out, reset it, and then as we process this pile, I have a place to put everything. The risk of this is if I hit that point of declutter paralysis or declutter fatigue and I have to leave it, that is going to drive Steven nuts. But then maybe Steven can take care of it. Nah, we're not gonna let that happen. I've got my friends here. We're not gonna let this project beat us. All right, let's get these bins cleaned up, washed out, dried up in this drawer. And we are going to ignore the dishes in the sink, okay? Decluttering sometimes comes with ignoring the daily chore stuff, okay? That's one thing that has been very hard for me to learn, especially since I film and put myself out on YouTube. You know, I want to have the aesthetic background while I'm cleaning out my plastic bins, but that's not real life. I'm here to show real life. We're gonna have dishes in the background. We're gonna have a little bit of clutter in the background. Sometimes we're gonna have a lot of bit of clutter in the background. That's okay. This has a little bit of something stuck in the background. I'm gonna let this one soak. I might not be able to get that out, but we're gonna let that soak and save it for the end. Again, it's about progress, not perfection. Whatever that stuff was stuck to that plastic bin, it was stuck to several of these bins, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it is solid concrete. It is now a part of the bin. As we go through that junk pile, maybe we'll solve the mystery. These plastic bins really came in handy organizing the chaos. And the last time I organized the junk bin, we were able to keep it up for a while and then eventually, yeah, about that. Gross. Anyway, the plastic bins just do a great job organizing the chaos, trying to keep things grouped. The last time I did it, anytime I organize something, we do a pretty good job keeping it together, but what I don't do a good job is checking in with it. That's where I could really improve. But what is the purpose of y'all's junk drawers? Like, what belongs in a junk drawer in your home? For me, it's things like keys. We have so many random sets of keys. They probably don't even go to anything in the home, but I'm not going to throw them away. So that's a perfect item for the junk drawer. Also, gift cards, pens and pencils, random tools like that screwdriver. You always need a screwdriver ready to go. Okay, I'm all set up to start going through this pile. We're also going to tackle that back there and weed that down quite a bit. I have my trash can here, and y'all, by the way, if you haven't gotten a motion detector trash can, you're missing out. Our last trash can broke, and so we had to replace it. And my parents had one, and I thought, I need this. Because the one with the step lever, it got so grody in the little gear thing. This one, it doesn't. I mean, it gets dirty, but it's easy to clean. Food doesn't get trapped. And you don't have to put your foot on it. Kids aren't touching the lid to lift it up. They have to just wave their hand over, and it just feels so much more sanitary. This one's from Walmart. I think I already said that. New level of adulthood reached with the motion detector trash can. All right, quick sort, here we go. These piles look so small and innocent, but they're not. There's so many little tiny pieces that you have to navigate through. My plan of attack for the junk drawer was to start with the easy stuff and then just group into light categories. Throwing away trash, trying to throw away as much of the random bits as possible. One question that I asked myself is, can this be replaced? Like, at one point there was like a little carabiner in that pile, and I'm like, if I needed a carabiner, would I know to come and look in the junk drawer? And the answer would be no. No, I wouldn't. In my mind, that carabiner does not exist. So I wouldn't know to go look for it. I got these new cord keepers for all my cords. One of my declutter projects is to go back into the craft closet. I have a bin of just cords and get rid of a ton and only keep like one of each type. That's my goal. I want to say this package came with 20 cord keepers. They seem like they'll work out pretty well. And can we just talk about cords for a second? I am the type of person that hangs on to every single cord. I think, I'm going to need this foot-long cord in this style. I'm going to need this 10-foot cord in this style. I got to save all the cords. I'm curious to know, what is your rule of thumb for people who have their lives together? What is your rule of thumb on cords? Because part of me is like, just toss it. Maybe keep one of each. Realistically, how often do I go in that cord bin looking for a cord? I'm gonna tell you, it's basically never. Okay, and then the cords that I do end up needing to replace are ones that are broken. So, So I think I know my answer, but I'm curious to know if y'all have a good system that works. And I am being productive procrastinating on that craft closet. I know I'm going to have to go in there again. I know that I am going to have to address it in this Take My Home Back series. And I need to do it before it's hot. And actually, one of you guys reminded me of that. The last time I was in there, it was like middle of the summer. and there's no circulation and no air vents in that closet, and I was dying. So I need to take advantage of it while the weather is cool and it's cold in there. But I'm not kidding when I tell you, like, it makes me angry going in there. And I think I'm going to have to use a very aggressive decluttering practice. I don't know. Right now, I just want to box it all up and burn it, to be quite honest with you. But, man, I should probably pop up a picture here for those of you who are new, because we've having a lot of new followers. Anyway, the craft closet is the bane of my existence, point blank. And it evokes a rage inside of me every time I go in there. And it's mostly my problem, because I feel like I have to hang on to every little craft for my homeschool, every single game, every single book, and it just seems to all collect there. But we're going to do it, okay? I'm going to face it. I need to hear my cheerleaders in the comment section, because I'm almost done with the downstairs on this Take Your Home Back series. And that's one of the last remaining spaces before we go upstairs. And here is the junk drawer. So all of these items, this is their home. You know, the screwdriver, the random tools, the miscellaneous school supplies that get destroyed in any other container, miscellaneous keys, gift cards, and remotes. I have everything else sorted into piles based on where its home is. So we have the sewing room. We need to put that in my wallet. Miscellaneous toiletries. This I need to plug in my computer, see if there's anything important on it. Math box. This needs to go in our pirate costume chest. Baseball bag. I need to check these batteries to see if they're still good or if they need to be tossed. Money. Mama got paid. A whole whopping 57 cents maybe. Got a little miscellaneous Steven pile, school supplies, cords, and of course the tools. I contemplated leaving those in here just because, you know, when you need a random nail or screw bit, it's there. But we're going to go ahead and reset and go put that out in the garage and not make this its home. I can't forget about the Ask Steven pile. I'm pretty sure this is a toilet phalange that I'm touching. But I'm going to choose to live in ignorance on that one.
Do what I please, yes sir. I ain't got no things, no money, no means, just a wind in the wings, yes sir. I got my feet on the cloud.
I also had batteries I needed to put away in the battery daddy. This battery daddy was one of my most favorite organizational purchases. It comes with one of these battery testers. So it says this is the negative and that's the positive. So you stick your battery here. So you can, okay. Let me hold it in such a way that I can do this at the same time. It's really not that hard. I'm just not. Okay, so testing this battery, dead. Still good. Still good. And the last one is still good. See, I would have wasted 3 batteries thinking that they were dead. These likely fell out of either our TV remote or my milk frother, but they are all good. So into the battery daddy they go. And I just like to say battery daddy. There's something about it that just gives me a giggle. But isn't that cool? I mean, think about how many batteries you've just tossed because you don't know if it's still good. That alone pays for itself, that case. One thing that I'm sad about is I'm going to have to remove my under cabinet lighting. It's not a big deal. It's inexpensive, but our microwave broke. I'm so bummed about it. And I can't help but wonder if the cabinet lights played a role in it, because it did seem to start acting funny after I put those up. And, you know, microwaves are weird. Anyway, the microwave went out. And my kids, y'all, you would thought the world was taken out from under them. My family, we rarely use the microwave. My stepmom was like, no, microwaves kill all the nutrients. You need to reheat on the stove or in the oven or whatever. And my kids are shook. They were even like putting their money together to go buy a microwave because I wasn't going to buy it right away. Okay, there was actually some miscellaneous items in the paper pile. So we got coupons, a ruler, hole punch. This thing, we need to get that set up. We've had that for years and it just travels around the house. Do y'all have anything like that it's just like a random item that travels around? And we lose our stuff all the time. So this would come in handy if we would just take the time to set it up. And then these are from Christmas lights. We need to go put that away. Okay. So this is our little bin that sits here to hold that. You know, in a perfect world, we process the mail when we check it, because it's usually only 3 to 4 things, mostly trash that just needs to be tossed. And if it's not trash, it's things that need my attention. So best practice is just to process it when you get it in the mail. But that doesn't solve everything, because we have artwork. Right now we've got tax documents coming in, and so we have a file folder for that. Recipes. This is a mixture of recipes, advertisements, non-personal items. This is my personal item stack that needs to be shredded. That took me 15 minutes dealing with paper clutter. If we would have just taken care of it when we had it, put it where it went, I wouldn't have had to carve 15 minutes out of my day to do that. Because I just set you guys down. Paper clutter is no fun. I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff thrown away or shredded and everything else put to where it needs to go. Kind of like the cords, I'm kind of curious to know what your rule of thumb is with paper clutter. I know that when I was following the Fly Lady, she designated, I believe it was Sunday, for paper clutter, where she would process her mail and I guess paper. And so that's another idea, you know, designating a day. I personally struggle with routines, but that's something I also want to improve on. So I don't know, but have y'all seen any other systems with the other decluttering gurus out there on what they do to process paper clutter? I'm just curious to know. I do have a system that I use with my children's artwork. When they bring me something they're really proud of, whether it be a drawing, a paper they wrote, or a good grade on a test, I deem it refrigerator worthy. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but what you gotta understand is Mommy doesn't like stuff hanging on the front of her fridge. She likes to have a clean front. So having something that Mommy deems refrigerator worthy is a big deal. It is also a great way to honor their work, and after a few weeks, they forget about it and it can disappear. Now, I do have keepsake bins where I will put the best of the best or a piece they worked hard on at each grade level. Anyway, that is one system that is working really well for us. Let's go ahead and flash back. We always love a good before and after. It feels good to press the reset button on this space. Hopefully I can maintain it for some time. This junk drawer is just it feels empty, but it won't take long. The big empty space that I have there, I plan to move our like pencils and dry erase markers and stuff that are getting thrown all over the craft closet. I'm just gonna make this an easy central location. I think that's going to actually solve a problem, having that extra space. If you haven't already, go say something kind to yourself, because you are awesome. We'll see you in the next one.